Hello, my Virgos. Welcome to your Pick a Turkey reading, where we're going to be looking at what can you grow through gratitude. You're going to have a choice of 3 different turkeys. Turkey number 1 is going to be this little fancy artistic turkey. Turkey number 2 is this cartoon-like turkey. And turkey number 3 is this black and white turkey. So you can choose as many of them as you want. I'm going to start with number 1, but if you want to jump to number 2 or number 3, timestamps will be in the description box below that you can click on and jump over to those. But we're going to go ahead and jump into turkey number 1. All right, if you chose turkey number 1, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Wild Unknown Archetype cards. And this is just going to tell us what the Creator wants you to know about gratitude, like what you could be grateful for. And then we'll take a look and see what that gratitude can grow in your life. So just one more shuffle here. All right, Creators, so for our Virgos that chose turkey number 1, what do you want them to know about gratitude? What can they be grateful for? Okay. And we're going to just take the top one here. And you've got the river. And I love that. And I'm going to just move this to the side here. So we're going to be building a turkey out of cards. This is going to be the body of the turkey. And of course, the river is all about the flow. And it's interesting because I didn't notice this when looking at it this way, but because I'm seeing it in the opposite direction, there's a horse right there. But it's, you don't see it quite as clearly when it's upside down. So I thought I'd show you that. And let's jump here and see what this brings for you. What energy? What can you be grateful for? So this talks about the stream, the flow, the current. There's a reason so many rituals of change and rebirth take place in the river. Excuse me, it is forgiveness embodied in physical form. Without asking anything in return, the river washes away what is no longer necessary, smoothing over sharp edges and accepting all our mistakes and grievances. Once we step in, we are no longer in control. The river carries us farther down the stream of transformation than we planned to go. Its waters have a special gift for reflecting back to us a new and dreamlike vision. Once the tears have passed, we see ourselves as we haven't before, with a little more lightness, grace, and fluidity. Keep in mind that the you that stands within the river is the real you, full of deep emotion and potential, nothing to hide, nothing to judge. May you drink in the sight of your true self. And it says the river is the emotion when you are, the river is emotion. When you are in its current, you will know it by the bursting forth of tears, laughter, song, despair. All the emotions flow in its current. It says you can only resist the river for so long. Eventually, it'll pull you toward change, so you may as well get in with style and grace. Right? Instead of being yanked into the river. I have this picture in my head of, you have those water skiers who, are gracefully start, and go. And then you have those that are yanked off the, off the dock into the water, face planting and riding the wave with their face instead of on the skis. And when you're in the light of this energy, then you have acceptance, you have grace, you have reflection, you have forgiveness. When you are in the shadowy side of this energy, then you have a torment of emotions. You feel flooding, you feel overwhelmed. And to go deeper into this energy, you can look at Barry Lopez's River Notes and Ronnie Horn's Still Water. And Ronnie is R-O-N-I. Which is a little different, so I thought I'd mention that. So this is beautiful because I love this gratitude for the river, that it will take us where we to where we need to go that is best for us, that's more in alignment with the individual that we are, our true self, and also what we want to experience in this life. So, there's beautiful gratitude around the reflection it gives us and where it takes us. So, I know sometimes when things happen in our lives that shake it up, things that are removed out of our lives or that we're moved on from, that is, for us, not to us. And I love that imagery. Instead of something being removed from our lives, even if someone appears to leave our lives, it's us leaving their life. We're being moved on into our direction. Like they're being moved on in their direction and we're being moved on in our direction. It's like the stream splits into two, the river splits into two separate ones, and you go this way and they're being dragged that way, for their benefit and for your benefit as well. So I love that for you, because it does transfer me from feeling like a victim into feeling like a victor. When life happens to you, you feel like a victim. When life is happening for you, you feel like a victor and you feel special because your life is being directed for your benefit, right? Even though at the time, we don't feel like it. It's like, why would that happen to me? And like later in life or after this life, we might look back and go, oh, that's why that happened for me. Great. Perfect. Right? So that is what you can be grateful for, is for this river experience. And then we're going to move in to the crystal medicine oracle. And this is going to be the head of the turkey. And I know it's almost the same size. Just imagine the turkey's head is closer to you. That's why they almost appear to be the same size. It's not going to be a perfect looking turkey, but it may not even look like a turkey to you. But in my mind, it is going to look like a turkey. And then we're just going to see from these cards what the Creator wants you to know about what medicine is available to help you with this river experience and what it can help grow in your life. So Creator, for our Virgos, that shows turkey number 1, what medicine do you want them to know about? Okay. Funny that you got reflection on the river. So that is perfect. And the season is winter. That's winter medicine. And the crystal is rhodonite. Yeah, rhodonite. That's card number 22. And it's a beautiful card because 22 to me is this power card, this master number that is this place in your life where you realize you're more than just this little character that you're playing in life, but that you're this actor behind this character, this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. And that you are, this journey here is allowing you to see that you are so much more than just this human and this human experience. This human side is on purpose and for a purpose. And realizing there's two of you that are having this journey is a beautiful transformation for you. So as you look into the river, you see your higher self looking back. And so you see this bigger person, you see this power that you have, you see this limitlessness instead of this, small character who feels powerless and limited and small. You get to connect and see how big you really are. Let's see what medicine it mentions in here for you. There we go. So it says you've attracted this card into your awareness today as it's time of deep reflection, a time to go within and connect to the inner wisdom that is offered and available to you at this time. Your surroundings are constantly guiding you towards opportunities for growth and powerful life lessons. Most of the time, what we see on the outside is a reflection of what we have deep within. Everything acts as a mirror for us to gain a deeper understanding of ourselves. This reflection can come from people, from animals, crystals, trees, or anything that holds energy and a spirit. The old saying, what you see in others is a reflection of what you see in yourself, can include positive or negative behaviors. So it's helpful to remember that when you point a finger at someone else, 3 fingers are pointing straight back at you. When you can deeply understand that the reflection others offer us is a powerful opportunity to heal the unloved parts of ourselves and also powerful life lessons, then you set yourself free. Have you been troubled by someone of late and you're blaming them or pointing the finger? Are you putting someone on a pedestal because you believe they are better than you? Do you feel something stirring within you wanting to come to the surface? Whatever is happening for you right now, the answer to your question lies within. You may find it helpful to take some time to sit and reflect on your current situation and ask, what are the lessons coming to you right now? What are you seeing in others that you can't see in yourself? Which aspects of yourself are you disowning and being encouraged to love or surrender to? Right now, there are signs all around you telling you to connect to the profound wisdom of your own soul for healing and awareness. Do whatever you're guided to at this time to allow this to fully awaken. This card can also mean that it's time to reflect deeply on something in your life. So beautiful. I mean, this is so right in connection with this river energy. I just love how this message is so cohesive. When you're grateful for the river, then that reflection teaches you so much. If you resist the river and hate the river, then you don't learn from it because you're not looking into the river. You're trying to run away from the river. But if you'll pause and look into that, that reflection is going to show you so much. And it's for you. Again, it's not to you. They're not like forcing you, look at yourself, look at yourself. It's like, look, you have a chance to learn so much about who you really are. And it sets you free, because until we look in that reflection, until we look into all those mirrors that are in our lives, we don't move to the next, growth opportunity and awareness or adventure. We'll continue to have the same teachers in our lives telling us what we're wanting to hear until we hear it, showing us what we want to see until we see it. So this is a chance to sit down, quiet yourself, and look and see. And it's going to be beautiful. So it's not anything that's horrible. It's uncomfortable at first, when you reflect on yourself, right? But also, that's what sets you free. You look into it and go, okay, let me look at the shackles that are around my ankle. I don't like to see that I'm shackled, but let me look at it and, I can untwist this and get out of this. I can release myself, and that's what this is about. The medicine of winter says throughout life, we enter into different stages, phases, and cycles, and with each one, a different medicine or energy is offered. People of the past deeply understood the blessings that came with each cycle and honored them with sacred ceremonies and rituals. They understood the power and magic that came with connecting to and working with the unique energy of each phase. Because past races lived closer to the natural world, their lives were directly affected by the weather of the seasons, particularly winter, as it was cold and food was less available. So the word winter has a Germanic origin. It means time of water. It is the coldest season and a time when everything goes into sleep mode, making it a powerful time of reflection when you're invited to go within your inner cave. It's a time to retreat from the world and sit in deep contemplation with your thoughts and ideas, to take some much needed you time. And then the crystal rhodonite, that of course assists in taking the time for reflection, and it will help you enter into your inner sacred cave for renewal. It will also help you find a deeper sense of self-worth, right? And I love that, because definitely when you look into that reflection in the water and see your higher self, that definitely takes you to a new place of self-worth, right? Because lo and behold, you see how mighty you really are. and you can connect and see how lovable you really are, unconditionally loved by that whole realm on the other side. You know, the creator of all things, spirit, you got guardian angels and spirit guides and loved ones on the other side, your ancestors, unicorns, fairies, whatever you believe. There's this huge, massive group of beings of unconditional love and light that love you so much and are so much on your side. You're like, wow, how can your self-worth not take a mighty leap, right? All right. Next, we're going to pull some cards here from this Everyday Tarot. And these are going to be the feathers that are going to be on the body of the turkey. Let's see what else the creator wants you to know about gratitude and growth in regard to this river and this reflection and this flow of life. What else would you like our Virgos that chose turkey number 1 to know? Okay. What else? Okay, like that one there. Okay, and that one there. So the first one here is the Magician. So this definitely, here's your infinite self. And this is the mighty wand you have that connects you to the heavens and brings that love energy down. And see how he points into the ground. It shows you have everything you need within you. You have everything you need at your fingertips. You just tapping into this beautiful energy shows you that you can manifest and bring so many things into your life. I mean, you've got the emotional ability, the mental ability, the spark and the drive, and everything in the outside world. All 4 of the suits are right here for you, and you have that. And a beautiful message that comes with this too is whatever you focus on is what grows. That's the power of the magic wand. If he's looking this way, whatever is this way is going to expand. If he turns and looks that way, whatever is that way is going to expand. So whatever it is in your life that you want to have grow, that's what you focus on. If you're focused on what you're grateful, like the gratitude in your life, more things to be grateful for expand. If you're focusing on, what's wrong in your relationship, what's wrong with your body, what's wrong in your job, what's wrong in the world, whoop, 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 you're just expanding it and you're feeding that instead of going, what is loving in the world? What is loving in my relationship? What is loving at my work? What is loving? Focus on what is loving, and that love grows and fills that space instead. So I love that. Yeah, because shing, here's the 3 of Swords. Swords are your thoughts, your mentalities, your beliefs, your mindsets, your expectations, and your attitudes, if I didn't say that already. And this, of course, that's what it feels like when we think we are experiencing heartbreak, right? And when we focus on our pain, the pain grows. And the message that comes with us, I call this the expectations card, is that when we define our worth, when I was talking about self-worth here, when we define our worth by those external things, there's 3 things that we're taught to define ourselves by in the outside world. Number 1, people. So the relationships we have with people, whether it's romantical or friendships or family, job, whatever it might be, we're told that who we're around and who's with us defines who we are. Also, number 2, the situations we're in, whether it's job, education, social status, whatever it is. And number 3 are the things that you have and that you own and possess, including your body. So it's like your body, your finances, your home, your car, your clothes, your electronic devices. What type of phone do you have? Blah, 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 blah. And all those things we're taught define us. But not the only problem, but the one big experience we have with all that is that all those things are unstable. All those things are temporary, and all those things are not fulfilling, because people, they change or they pass away, right? Or move out of our lives. Situations never stay the same. And things, they break down, deteriorate, catch on fire, or, are stolen. So all those things disappoint us over and over and over and over again. But the beautiful thing with that is this does end up turning us inward eventually, because when we're disappointed enough in the outside world, we turn inward. When we're pointing out there going, I love this example that they just gave with that pointing finger, right? Out there is what fulfills me. Nope. In here, 3 pointing back here, in here is what fulfills me. I'm going to use that now. I love that example. And then you have the Knight of Cups. This is beautiful because cups are your emotions. And you have the Ace of Cups here is what he's carrying, and the Knight is about action and making movement. The Ace of Cups is filled with the living waters, which is the unconditional love of the Creator of all things. It's what we truly thirst for. That's what we find within us. We don't find it out there. That's the world of conditions and instability and instability. And in here is where we find the stable, unconditional love of the Creator of all things, because there's, it's forever, because one, it's no condition to receive it. It's just this being, this higher self that you are, being the being that you really are, your true self. You're perfect. The Creator, just being that, it's like you're a royal child in the kingdom. It's your inheritance. You just get it. It just is. There's no reason why you don't get it. It's just because of who you are. And then there's nothing you do to gain it. So there's nothing that you can do to lose it. It's unconditional, and you have it all right now, right? Not in the future, when, but you have it all right now, right here. I'm in the second, and always, right? So I am in loving that. And then you have the Justice card here, which is beautiful because, one, you have the Ace of Swords here, and the Ace of Swords brings truth. It shows you your small T truths of the outside world and allows you to see that capital T truth of unconditional love, and it allows you to see everything from that perspective. And she also carries the scales here, which the scales are, you have your higher self and your human self. So we're talking about those two, parts of yourself here. It's very important to understand that it's the balance of the two. She's just not ripping off one of the scales and saying, this human side of you needs to go. We need to kill it. It's like, no, the higher truth is that your human side of yourself is a part of you. It is the brave part of you that chose to disconnect from that whole awareness of how powerful you are, how limitless you are, to feel powerless and small and limited, and to feel all those emotions of fear and conditional love. Because in experiencing that part of ourself, it looks back up at our larger self and sees, that is us. And so it's this beautiful, awareness that comes from that, because a lot of spirituality will teach, you must destroy your ego and kill it. It needs not to have any part in your life. But really what happens is our hungry, small self that's, been looking out here for its, sustenance, hasn't found it all. It's starving, and it's like yelling and for assistance, and our higher self comes down and gives it the love that it's been looking for, and then you walk hand in hand, right? That's why it's card number 11, 1-1, walking side by side each other. So, that's a whole different experience in your life. You walk first as this being feeling all alone and desperate, and then you meet your higher self and you're like, wow. It's like, those movies where a young royal child was taken away from the kingdom out of fear of something. For some reason, they ended up being away from and not even realizing the royalty, and suddenly they get discovered and they're brought to the palace, and here's everything, and they're like, it's this transformation of your life. And that's what this feels like. Yeah, because here's the Two of Wands. Wands is your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, and it's also your spiritual energy. And here again, standing side by side, right? And the two of you. And you get to see the world in a whole new way. And because of this is also about making plans, and your plans change for the future. And you have this new way of looking at everything. And so you're like, wait a minute, I was thinking small, and that this is what I was supposed to do and should do with my life. This is who I'm supposed to be. This is what my career is supposed to be. This is who I'm supposed to be with, blah, 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 blah. You get to free yourself, like it talked about, from all that expectations, all this Three of Swords energy, and you get to be free. And then when you're that way, you're like, wow, the world is totally new. What do I want to do with my life? You have this beautiful transformation that happens, all starting by being in that river and reflecting, right? And then lastly, we're going to pull 2 cards here from the Sacred Creator's Oracle. And that's going to be the beak of the turkey here. This will be the final message for this reading for you, for the turkey number 1. All right, Creator, what's your final message here for our Virgos that chose turkey number 1, please? Okay, those 2. Message number 1 is bliss is worth creating from. I love that. It kind of reminds me of the change of plans too, right? That's card number 26. And then you also have befriend the world, polarize. I love that. And card number 25. So we're actually going to start with card number 25 here. That'd be the bottom beak. Oh, you also had another card here at the bottom, and I'm going to say that for here in just a moment, because I love that. That was hidden under this this book. So befriend the world and polarize. It says polarize isn't a bad word. Great leaders are not selling safe, usual, everyday ideas. It's time to bravely put your truth, your capital T truth, and your wisdom out on display in order to find those individuals who totally love what you're saying. Finding those soulful kindreds may mean that there will be others who disagree with you and what you're all about. And that's okay. It's time to get comfortable with this possibility and steer clear of any safely watered down vanilla choices that are meant to keep you palatable and liked. You are anything but average, so don't hide your powerful messages from the world by trying to appeal to the taste of the masses. Growth and change are, by nature, uncomfortable for some people, and your particular brand of magic won't be perfect for everyone. Your magic, right? Magician. Your people will feel compelled by your authentic stories, your courage, your vulnerability, and your honesty. So be courageous and allow your unique flavor of awesome sauce to shine through. You'll attract people who are fiercely in love with what you're up to, and your heart will feel so full that the light of the world will spill forth from your joy. And I love these cards because they also ask questions. And it says, how can you speak more honestly and directly in your life? Is there something about yourself that you've been hiding in order to play it safe in the world? What are you opaquing? What about you could shine a little more brightly? It says, rewrite your bio for your eyes only. No one else will see it, so let it flow. Some starting points. What do you stand for? What fires you up? What are your dreams? I love it. Yeah, definitely. This is this change, right? When you see this reflection of you, you put this capital T truth that you find, you put that forward. And then you have number 26. Oh, I didn't even realize that they're like right after each other. And these are all shuffled, and I use these a lot, so it's not because they're, have been in order all along. So it says, bliss attracts bliss. When you decide to live with bliss in your heart, you call more of the good stuff into your life. Like that magician, right? Focus on bliss, bliss grows. This is manifestation, which is the magician 101. And rather conveniently, bliss is the end game and the vehicle to take you there. Tap into it. It can power your dreams. Find it daily, and you've got a badass success strategy. Think about it. Wouldn't bliss help you to build things a lot quicker? Wouldn't your dream feel a whole lot closer and way more possible if you remembered that you had bliss on tap whenever you needed it? Do you desire a higher tolerance for risk, increased productivity, to rid your system of toxins and stress? You can rewire your brain to pump out the happy hormones that make it all possible. So find more joy in your life and give yourself an edge when facing challenges. Yeah, I love it. Focus on joy and joy grows. If you've been working on it already, keep going. If you've been neglecting some aspect of your self-care, this card is a loving wake-up call that your creativity may be suffering because of your current mindset, mental health, physical vitality, or waning commitment to a daily practice. It's time to do the work, sweet soul, because wiring your life for joyful bliss is your best success strategy. I love it. And then the questions for that one: is there something, a person, a belief, a feeling, or worry that's getting in the way of your bliss? How can you let it go? What one small action can you take today that will nourish your spirit? What have you been neglecting? And how can you open up your schedule for some ongoing soul time? Meditation, nutrition, exercise. What's your soul medicine? So again, this does bring up, making sure to take time for yourself and for your nurturing and for your growth and for your reflection on yourself. Because the last card, that card that popped up here is the Death card, which is all about endings and new beginnings and transformation and transition. And we're just going to make this the little thing that the little glug 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 that hangs under the turkey's neck, under his beak. So definitely this is a beautiful transformation for you, letting old ways of thinking, old ways of being, this old way of defining your self-worth go, and defining yourself by a much higher awareness of who you are with this reflection and this river experience. I'm loving it for you. All right, and just know as you're going through all this that you are indeed unconditionally loved by the Mother and Father of all things, our Creator. I'm going to leave the reading at there. I do want to let you know that in addition to these readings, I do monthly zodiac readings by sign. I do weekly zodiac element readings, like fire signs, water signs, etc. New moon, full moon readings, all sorts of different ones throughout the month. So if you want to make sure you don't miss out on any of those, if you haven't done so already, just click the subscribe button down below, and that's going to make this little notification bell pop up. And when that pops up, just click on that and you'll get notified. So easy breezy. Just know that I also love you dearly, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you take care. All right, all my Virgos, if you chose turkey number 2, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Wild Unknown archetype. And this is just going to be first what the Creator wants you to know about gratitude. So what you can be thankful for, or just what they want you to know overall about gratitude. And then we'll see what grows from that in your life. All right, Creator, for our Virgos that chose turkey number 2, what do you want them to know about gratitude? Okay. Like this top one right here. If I can make it, there we go. This is the 1, and you've got the threshold. I love that. It's like you're standing at the edge. It's almost like the Fool card in the major arcana of tarot. You're ready to make a leap into something new, an exciting adventure. You're ready to leave some things behind and move into a new place. So being thankful for endings and new beginnings. And I almost feel like being thankful for this anxious feeling of this adventure, this excitement that's coming. It's like you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to jump. And it's that being thankful for endings and new beginnings, and being thankful that, it's safe that you can do that. That rather than being stagnant and staying in stagnant waters, it's about, flow and moving in to the next place. And let me just jump into here and I'll read a little more here. So it talks about the door, the gate, the initiation. It says we cross thresholds continually, consciously and unconsciously. Doorways, gates, and entryways grace our path on a daily basis. When this card arises, it signifies that the precipice you stand upon is not your typical one, however. You have arrived at a threshold of initiation, here to usher you into a new reality. It requires you to leave behind the you that you thought was so well formed. A new frontier calls. This is not easy work. Threshold initiation means a part of you will be lost in order to make space for what is next. A metaphorical death must occur. Some may not recognize you. You may struggle to recognize yourself. The ground seems to crumble as you free fall into your new reality. This is the liminal realm. One step, dear friend, just take that one necessary step toward the future that calls you. Yep. Definitely death and rebirth, right? Endings and new beginnings, but it's all for the better, all for you, right? It says crossing a threshold may not always be voluntary. Sometimes we are thrown across the boundary through circumstances far beyond our control. Either way, we cannot go back. Yeah, it reminds me of the tower energy, right? Tower energy is like there's these things in our life that if it's not removed out of our life, we won't experience the things that we also wanted to experience in this life. So we've, told Spirit when we were up on the other side, looking at all the stuff we wanted to go through in life. It's like, if this is not removed out of my life by this point, I need it removed for me so that I can experience these other things. So sometimes, like it says, if we're not moving in that direction and we wanted to for our whole journey, then that'll be moved for us, or we'll be nudged into something, right? Excuse me. It says in Hindu mythology, Ganesh is the ultimate gatekeeper. So look to the great elephant god for support. Hecate, I probably mispronounced that, I apologize. It's Hecate. Janus, Janus, and Menshen, Menshen, are also watching over you. So I'm not familiar with those. If you look into those, there's some beautiful energy from the other side supporting you as well with those. When you're in the light part of this energy, then you have growth, you have individuation, you ease in the liminal. When you're in the darker side of this, then you have this you're resisting, you have a refusal to grow, you have barriers and boundaries. And to go deeper into this energy, it says, lie on the floor and listen to Bob Dylan's Standing in the Doorway. So I love those. And if any of those resonate with you, definitely check those out for additional messages. So I love this. We're starting off here. What you can be grateful for is these endings and new beginnings, that you have reached a threshold, that you're ready to go into something new. And so with that gratitude, that opens it up. And it's like, I have this picture in my head of when someone's trying to drag someone through a door and they have like both their hands on the either side of the, frame of the door going, no, no, no. And if you just let go and surrender and trust that you're being dragged in, if you feel so, or being nudged into something in your life that is for you. It's not something that's going to happen to you, and it's going to be always for your highest experience here. What we're going to look at next is what can grow from that gratitude. And we're going to build a little card turkey here. This is going to be the body of the turkey. This is going to be the head of the turkey. And I know it's about the same size, but just think it's a perspective thing. The turkey head is closer to you than the body. It's not going to be a perfect turkey by no means, but might not even look like a turkey in your mind, but in my mind, it's going to be a turkey. All right, just shuffle this a little more here. There we go. All right, Creator, for our Virgos that chose turkey number 2, what medicine do you want them to know about? What do you want them to know, Wolgra? Okay, this one right here. Yeah, and you got healer. I love it. You got shaman and shamanka, which shamanka is the feminine version of shaman. And then you have the crystal here, nuamite. I probably murdered that, but you can see that at least if you want to look into that. And I love that beautiful, beautiful energy here. So crossing the threshold allows you to connect with the healing energy that is within you, and that's able to grow in your life. And it says you've called this card into your awareness today as a confirmation that you are your greatest healer and that healing is at hand. You've been a healer in many lifetimes, and currently you're being invited to awaken to this powerful healing gift within you. Can you feel this truth, energy, and knowing deep within you? Do people naturally come to you for advice and feel comfort in your presence? Have you been going through your own healing journey? Have you been asking the universe for confirmation of your life path? Do you have a natural way with animals and connection to the earth? Have you been wanting to venture into the healing arts? All of these are signs that you are the healer you've been searching for, and it's time to connect it's time to connect deeply and awaken this important aspect of your soul. This is a natural part of your progression, and everything you have already been through in your life has made you ready to dive into your healing gifts. You're encouraged to find a modality that inspires you, whether it's energy healing, natural medicine, social work, or some sort of body movement. It's time to awaken your healing gifts and share them with the world. I love it. Beautiful. And the medicine, the shaman, shamanka medicine, a shaman or a shamanka is someone who works in the spirit worlds and connects deeply with the medicine of the earth. They're the medicine men and women of the world. They were the ones in the tribe who had a natural gift to heal and or the wisdom to teach each generation under strict ceremony, guidelines, and ritual. Ancient healers would guide people who required healing into deep trance-like states and travel into the 3 worlds of shamanism, where they would receive different forms of energy medicine. They would act as a conduit to channel the medicine back to the physical plane and offer this energy to the sick person. There's a powerful awareness awakening now from deep within some people on this planet, an awareness that they have been healers before, and this gift is coming forth to be utilized at this important time of healing. The veils of the worlds are at their thinnest, and people are able to access their past life healing gifts like never before. I love that. And this crystal awakens your natural healing abilities. It connects to the earth's medicines, and it also connects you deeper to your shamanic wisdom. So if you're into the crystals and want to check those out, I would say, you don't have to always purchase them. You can go look at them, search it on the internet, and just look at the pictures of them and just resonate and feel with that. And if you feel so drawn to it, you can always look at, getting some. But I love this message for you. Definitely beautiful, beautiful, crossing that threshold, allowing yourself to take that step. And if you've been drawn and you're like, I don't know what I want to do with my life, really look at how you can be a healer in a way. And that can also be psychology, counselor, physical trainer, and like I talked about, nutrition, energy work, anything that helps people heal emotionally, physically, mentally, or spiritually. it's wide open. And just know that you are called for that you're here on purpose for a purpose. So don't go, oh, it's not for me. I'm not worthy, blah, blah, blah. You are worthy because look, it's telling you are. All right. Next, we're going to pull some cards here from this Everyday Tarot. And these are going to be the feathers on the body of the turkey. We'll see what else the Creator wants you to know about this growth, this threshold, and the gratitude for this change, this movement, transformation in your life. So, Creator, for those Virgos that chose turkey number 2, what else do you want them to know about this growth and this gratitude? Boom, 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 boom. There you go. So the first card is the Hermit. So this is very much Virgo energy. So this is you. Hello. And you get to find the you that is within you. You are this bright, shiny star within you, this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. That's the you inside you. This Hermit is about making sure you're taking time to yourself to dig in and understand what it is that you're searching for, what it is that you're wanting to, head toward, and let that be the path. You're in this darker time, and it's you. It's this inner you, that connection to the inner you that helps guide you in this. So definitely, and it doesn't mean that you have to be an absolute hermit away from everyone and everything, up in the mountains kind of hermit, but it definitely is talking about making sure you're taking time for you and doing that inner work and in that inner search to find out what it is that you are truly passionate about. And the message that I'm getting for you too is that, there's this influence we get from the outside world, these opinions on who you're supposed to be, what you should do, what you have to do, what you need to do. And that is people handing their idea of a dream to you for you. Or their dream to you sometimes even, right? It's like, I can't live my dream, so you live it for me. And so people put their dream in you, when at the time you were like, oh okay, I'll take that on. And so you think this is your dream and what you're supposed to do. And so you put energy into it and it just feels like it goes into a black hole. You don't have this passion, this energy for it because it's not your dream. So you put that back over there and you find what your dream is, because guaranteed when you are living and making movement towards your dream, you wake up with it in your mind. You have this passion and this excitement to do it, to engage in it. It's not like oh God, I woke up again. It's, oh God, I woke up again. And here we go, another day for my dream. And you make movement and do things for your dream. And that's what I really feel from this for you. Yeah, any of the King of Swords. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mentalities, your mindsets, your expectations. And the beautiful thing about the King is he has the Ace of Swords in his hand, which gives him the power and the ability to cut away those thoughts and those beliefs that no longer serve you. Those small t truths, like that dream that people were pushing on you, all those expectations and opinions of supposed to, should, need to, have to, you get to slice those away out of your mind, which I love that the King has his hand extended, which means he's then open for the newness, for this new thing that's coming. So this does help you cut away the things that no longer serve you, making room for the new. And he sits upon a throne of a cup, which is the emotions. And I love the King of Swords because, he's air energy, and he understands. He's been through it all. I mean, he's been through the Two of Swords all the way up to the King. So he's experienced all the challenges of everything in between around thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. And he knows that, like that first one, it's if you're stubborn on your mindsets, that it's not always what's best for us. Keeping an open mind, allowing things to to move out of our lives, let thoughts and beliefs change. It's an important part of flowing with life, in being open-minded with his open hand. But he also knows that if you make decisions just out of your mind and logic, not usually going to work out for the best and in alignment with who we truly are. As well as the King of Cups knows and learns, it's important to balance between the heart and the mind and your intuition and logic, because we can also go so far in the other direction that also doesn't work out for the highest experience and the highest benefit for the whole collective, right? So it's this wonderful balance between heart and mind that's coming in as well. Yeah, because here's the High Priestess. So here's the water. Here's the one who looks into the unknown, looks behind the veil. She's the one, attached to that moon energy, and you definitely are able to connect to your intuition, to the higher realms to get that information. So, this is perfect for next to each other. So it shows the High Priestess, who's the Queen of Intuition, and you have the King of Swords, who's the Master of the Mind. And so it's this reinforcement that it's important for this balance between the two. Don't neglect your intuition and connecting to your higher realm, but keep it balanced as well. Don't go too much into your mind. Keep the wonderful balance and appreciation for both sides of you. Okay, so here's the Tower, and I love this because this is definitely, what we're talking about here. And I think it was this one that talked about if, things being removed for you. And the message of the Tower, I know it looks like, oh my gosh, this doesn't look very like a positive card, but I love it because there's the message that it brings is that before you come down here, you, as your soul, you get together with your entire support team, the Creator Spirit, all your angels and guides and loved ones and everyone else that's going to experience this life with you, and you determine, okay, this is when I'm going to enter the game of life, and this is when I'm going to leave the game of life. And this is the avatar, the piece that is going to represent me. So this is who, my strengths are going to be, my opportunities, what I'm going to look like, what family I'm in, blah, blah, blah. You determine all of that, because when you're going to be born into that moment, that soul is who you're going to inhabit. This is where you're going to be, right? And then you determine all these events and circumstances that you want to experience in your life. I call those the fated events as you're going through it all. But know also that as you're going through each of those fated events, those are the things that are happening on the outside world. But you still, with your power of choice within each of those moments, within each of those fated moments, you get to decide what story you apply to the situation. You also get to choose what emotion you're going to feel during each of those situations. So you get to choose an extreme feeling of fear, or an extreme emotion of unconditional love, or somewhere in between those, right? So you still get to choose what each of those moments means and what you experience during each of those moments. Now the Tower comes in that you have this situation in your life. It's either a relationship of some kind, whether it's, a lover or a friend or family or work person, some sort of relationship with another individual. Or it's a circumstance like a job or education or social status or something physical in your life, like your physical body or your possessions, your finances, something like that. And something like that is in your life, and you've experienced it up to here on purpose for a purpose. But for you to experience these other things that you wanted to experience, this thing needs to move out of your life. Now, if you're in connection with your High Priestess and you're listening at the vibration of where Spirit speaks, which is unconditional love and joy and laughter and peace, if you're at that vibration and that frequency, you can hear the countdown before the lightning strikes. But if you're involved in the noise of the world and the fear, you can't hear, and you don't hear it counting down. So if you hear it counting down, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you can opt to jump out. And sometimes you'll see in some of the tarot cards, there's someone jumping out of the tower and someone being blasted out of the tower. And I love that because it shows us that we can still choose to remove something out of our life back here. So if we remove it there, then we don't have the tower experience. But a lot of times we like to live and experience that lightning bolt, that electrical shock treatment, and we experience everything up to this moment. And there's no right or wrong. It's just what we want to experience. And so by the time it gets down here, if it's not, then it just gets removed. And the beautiful message that I love about all that is that life happens for us. It doesn't happen to us. When something is removed or we're nudged through a threshold, it's happening for us. It's not happening to us, right? So I love the tower that it came in here for us. Yeah. Because then you got the Empress. Beautiful energy of Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. Definitely this, talking about this earth connection. It's very Empress-like. She's pregnant, which means birthing new things. So this is the ending and this is the new beginning. So definitely this promise of beautiful things that are being birthed for you with this movement. Something needs to be moved out of the way to make room for the new stuff that's coming in. So 3 is also a beautiful number of creativity. So it's opening up this beautiful flow of creativity for you. So, loving it. And then lastly, we're going to pull a card here, or 2 cards from the Sacred Creators Oracle. And this is going to represent the beak of the turkey. And this will be the final message for this reading for you. So, Creator, what is your final message for the Virgos that chose turkey number 2, please? Okay, there we go. So you've got external validation. That's card number 50. And you've got balance. Card number 14. So let's read this external validation one first, see what message comes from that. It says, on one hand, external validation can build you up and give you the encouragement and support to continue. Positive external validation whispers, we love it, continue, we want more. And it can be wonderfully supportive and reassuring and offer glimpses into what's possible for the future. In this way, external validation can be a driving force for your success. Yet, on the other hand, it can be terribly addictive and become far too important if you give it too much power. It's important to learn how to tune it out in order to tune in to your own vibe and creative north. This is especially true when others don't understand your vision or when you're doing something totally new, right? The absence of external validation can be a creativity killer if you find yourself unable to move ahead without it. It's time to know thyself and to rely on your own acumen and intuition as you decide something's value. Accept the positive when it's there, and in its absence, be your own cheerleader. Allow your own potential to inspire you and tune out the noise of external validation whenever it's not gifting you joy. Throw a headset on and light a candle in your heart, groove to your favorite drumbeat, and relax. Your unique gift for seeing the world in your unique way will guide you. I love it. And these do come with questions, so that helps. So it says, when do you rely on someone else's opinion, and whose perspective is the most important when there's a difference of opinion? Good question. How can you use external validation as a way to market test or perception check without relying on it for inspiration? How can you learn to be your own compass? And when is your optimal time to seek a second opinion? In your current situation, you must have the only voice that matters. What does your heart say? I love it. And then this is card number 14, and this is card number 14. So a wonderful synchronicity there about balancing, your mind and your heart, like it was talking about, right? Your intuition and your logic. It says, ever elusive balance. You could drive yourself a little nutty chasing the perfect ratio of work, home, health, family, social life, hobbies, and woo time. And it's okay not to strive for such a compulsive perfection. Sometimes chilling way the bleep out is exactly what's needed to usher in some desperately needed balance. Then again, you may be so complacent that your heart is begging for a healthier mix. And if this is you, and you'll know it when it is, then the universe requires more consistent energy from you in order to deliver your dreams. Regardless of your situation, if you're feeling misaligned and out of whack, it's time to come back to center. Look for solutions and situations that feel grounded and calming. Avoid anything that will tip the scales and suck way too much of your energy, time, or money, or that will provide you with too much lazing around time. And actively seek the moderation of tasks and time. Step away from drastic and excessive and any imbalances that just don't feel right. Consistent introspection to see where you're lacking and where you're leaking energy will guide you to the middle ground that's required right now. Find long-term success through a measured blending of strengths, productivity, and stillness. I love it. And then the questions for this card says, no one can create balance for you. Only you know it because it is a feeling. How balanced do you feel today? What does a balanced life look like to you? And can you plan a week around that? Are there any self-critical not enoughs that are eating their way into your balance? So I love that. Definitely this message of balance is in here. This message of taking time for you and this nurturingness, digging into you, and this understanding that this threshold that you're at, this movement of letting things go and moving into this new area of your life, this major healing ability, this healing career, this healing adventure is happening for you. It's not happening to you. So I am loving this message for you. And just know as you're going throughout each and every moment of this, that you are unconditionally loved by the creator of all things. Every second, every moment, no matter what choice you make, you are unconditionally loved. I'm going to leave the reading there. I do want to let you know that in addition to these readings, I also do monthly zodiac readings, also weekly element readings by zodiac sign, like water signs, fire signs, new moon, full moon readings, and a variety of other different readings. So if you don't want to miss out on those, if you haven't done so already, if you click on the subscribe button down below, then that'll make this little notification bell pop up. And if you click on that, then you'll be notified when those videos come out. So easy breezy. All right. Well, I'm going to leave it there. Just know that I also love you dearly. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you take care. Bye-bye. All right, my Virgos, if you chose turkey number 3, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here first from the Wild Unknown archetype. And this is just going to represent what the creator wants you to know about gratitude, like what you can be grateful for, etc. And then we will look into what that gratitude grows in your life. All right, Creator. So for our Virgos, that shows turkey number 3. What do you want them to know about gratitude? What do you want them to know about gratitude, or what they can be grateful for? Or okay, this is the one right here. And you got the tear. Oh, beautiful though. I love the imagery there. So being grateful for the tears. Yay, right? Well, tears are healing, which is good, right? And we would rather not. Oh, and it can be tears of joy too, right? You never know. This one talks about the mourning, like mourning, mourning, the release, and the rain. It says tears are droplets of letting go. Once they begin to fall, we allow the swelling tide of emotion to run its elemental course. Often the tear is what is needed in order for a conversation or situation to break into the next level of intimacy and vulnerability. Some say that tears are so powerful in softening our egos that they open up a portal to the unseen world. Through our watery eyes, the ancestors catch a glimpse of us, and we're reminded of their eternal embrace. We sense our humanity, our humility, and we allow ourselves to be held. It's likely this card appears when there is grieving yet to do, a sinking down into disappointment or despair that, once acknowledged, will bring a shimmer of clarity to our dewy eyes. I love that. In both the tear and the river, if the tear and the river appear in a reading, this indicates an excess of the water element in your life, as in the Ayurvedic. It's I can never pronounce this correctly. I apologize. It's Ayurvedic. So in the Ayurvedic tradition, balance it with fire and earth. And if you were drawn also to listen to reading number 1, the turkey number 1, that was the river. So I feel like there's this message here. If you did choose this one and you were like, well, I don't know 1 or 3, let me listen to 3, I'd go listen to number 1 as well, because that is the river. And then it says the tear is powerful and it's possible to be subsumed in its waters. Find a supportive place to open the floodgates. Because when you're in the light energy of this card and of the tear, then you have this feeling of melody, melancholy flowing through. But when you're in the shadowy side, the darker side of this of tear, then you feel like you're drowning and there's drama and murkiness. And to go deeper into the energy of this, it mentions to look at it's titled Rain by Vachel Lindsay. And it's Vachel is their first name, and Lindsay, Lindsay. So if that resonates, you want to look into more energy regarding this, then definitely take a look into that, because I'm sure there's more messages there for you. All right. So gratitude for the tears, gratitude for the flow, the release, the feelings of mourning, the feelings of loss, to be grateful for those. Can grow things in your life. And we're going to see what that grows in your life right now. We're also going to build a turkey as we're going through these with the use of these cards. So this is going to be the body of the turkey. This is going to be the head of the turkey. And I know the head's almost as big as the body, but we're just going to say that it's about perspective, and that the turkey's head is closer and the body is further away. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And it may not be the most beautiful turkey, or you may not even see a turkey, and that's okay. In my mind, it is a turkey. All right, just one more little shuffle here. Okay, actually, they want that one to be the one. So we don't even need to go through the other one there. And you've got dance. And the medicines that come with this are rattle and, boulder opal. And this is card number 9. So we'll put that here. And that makes sense that after the mourning period, then comes the dancing period and the celebration, right? And it says, this awesome card has shown up today to remind you to move your body, feel the groove, and find your dance. Dance has a powerful ritual since the beginning of time, with ancient races utilizing it in ceremony for personal power and spiritual connection, to awaken the joy of the soul and to deeply cleanse the mind, the body, and the spirit. When you move your body and dance to the rhythm of your own heartbeat, profound personal awakening can be experienced. Certain types of music and dance invoke special states of being, creating trance-like euphoric states of consciousness and an opening of the heart, chakras, and energy field. Are you stuck and lacking in energy? Has life got you down and do you feel you've lost your drive and spark? Are you looking for an awakening and expansion of consciousness? Well, your prayers have been answered. What you're looking for is held in the medicine of dance. It's time to move your body and create an opportunity to dance to your heart's desires. Play your favorite music really loud, close your eyes, and dance like no one's watching, or make plans to go out dancing. Whatever you choose, get up and move and shake your body. Dance your dance and awaken your joy. It's beautiful, right? I mean, we can get caught up in our pain, we can get caught up in our loss, we can get caught up in our mourning. And it's important to feel those emotions. We came here to experience them. There's nothing wrong with them. In fact, they are, what draws us here, all these uncomfortable emotions of fear. The mourning, the feeling of loss is rooted in fear. The fear of, what does it mean about me that that thing or that person's no longer in my life? That situation's no longer in my life. The disappointment that comes, what does that mean about me? I'm fearing what it means. I'm fearing what the future's going to bring because of that. I really am fearing what other people are going to think about me because of this. What does this mean about me? What does this mean about me? What does this mean about me? Is what, screams from the feeling of loss and mourning. Am I going to be able to make it without them? Am I going to find love again? Am I unlovable? All these questions, they're just flooding me with all these. These are all the feelings that we come here to experience, and you experience them. And when you're done, then you move into this place of joy. They're bringing back this memory to me. I attended a funeral of one of our coworkers, really sweet, huge biker dude who was so loving, so hilarious, just a wonderful person. And we had a motorcycle accident and died. And so, a lot of us went to the funeral, and there was a few of individuals that were very, very close to him. Like they were best friends or really close friends anyway. And they even hung out with them outside of work and everything. And they were devastated. They had tears, at the service. And I went over to them and just to see how they were doing. And, they said they were hanging in there. And then because I do connect to the other side, he was speaking to me. And he was so full of joy. He was still being a goofball. And he was like, you know what? I'll allow you to, mourn me. It's cool that you're doing this and feeling this way for me. He was like, but if you carry on feeling this way too long, then I'm going to come and kick your butt, which was so his personality. And it made him laugh because they felt like, oh my God, that is what he would say, and so they smiled amongst their tears. And what I love that is this message is coming, with that is that, it's okay to mourn, and you need to mourn, and you need to feel, and you need to flow through those emotions. Don't resist. Flow. Let it flow. Let it flow. Feel it to its deepest. Don't do anything stupid, like end your life over it, because you have so much more to live for and so much to do. But feel it, and then move on and move into this joy. In fact, one of the big messages they're saying is set a time frame. Say, I'm going to mourn for up till this date, and this date is when I'm going to have a dance, and I'm going to go dance. And even if it's dancing alone in your room to music or whatever, but you're going to set this date with yourself and with the spirit world, and I'm going to dance on this date, and that's when I'm letting this to go. And they used to have, ritualistic mourning periods of time. Like you mourn a spouse's death for this much time. You mourn the ending of this for this time, or the nation mourned for a certain amount of time and then had a celebration, So take that message. It's different for everyone, but you'll know in your heart when that time is. But set the time. The medicine of the rattle says rattles are a powerful medicine tool of shamans, not just musical instruments. They are utilized in rituals, ceremony, celebrations, connection, and offerings to the spirits of the earthly realm, and are used in healing to take people on shamanic soul and medicine retrieval journeys. The rattle serves as a calling to the spirit world, where they invoke and awaken the spirits and ancestors. In the tribal days, rattles were made of animal materials, feathers, natural materials, and wood. Shamans would call upon the spirit of the animal or natural materials of the rattle and offer this medicine to the person for healing. As well, the rattle would be played in a specific rhythm to invite the mind to relax and drop into a deep trance. Rattles were also placed on the ankles, and the user would dance into the trance-like euphoric states, which that's what these are, rattles. And it's interesting. I never knew that. I wonder if that's why we give rattles to babies, to calm them down. This boulder opal crystal, the medicine for that, it also invokes the spirit of joy, play, and dance. They call to and awaken the spirits and the ancestors. So, and they also facilitate trance-like states. So, if you are interested in the crystals, you don't have to buy them, of course. What you can do, if you just search for it on the internet and look at pictures of it, you can also take in the energy from just that. But if you feel drawn, and you want to bring that joy and make that an act of towards doing that, purchasing a little boulder opal will help you feel and put that intention that I want to feel joy. I'm ready to move beyond mourning and feeling sad and down about my life or a person or a situation. I'm ready to have happiness come in. I'm ready to begin this dance of life. So, loving it. Next, we're going to pull some cards here from the Everyday Tarot, and these are going to be the feathers on the body of the turkey. So we're going to see what else the Creator wants you to know about this gratitude and this growth. What else for our Virgos? That shows turkey number 3, please. Okay, like that one. What else? Those 2. Okay, and that one. Oh, okay. Get an extra one. Perfect. That one is for the end, so we'll put that one to the side. And you got the 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles. Pentacles is about your outside world, your abundance, growth in your life. And it represents patience, because this is it's starting to blossom and fruit hasn't quite happened yet. And so you're doing the work, you're taking the time, but it does take time. And I love that. Like they said, time heals all wounds. And it's about making sure you do take the time to mourn, not burying it, and covering it up and avoiding feeling it. It's all about, it's important for you to feel it. It's important for you to let those tears flow, let that release happen, let those things flow, because then it just becomes stagnant water within you. It becomes dis-ease. It becomes ulcers. It becomes other things. Letting that waters flow gets those stagnant waters, gets that water flowing, allows it to empty, allowing for this new emotion to come in. Yep. Then you have the Queen of Swords. So swords are all about your thoughts, your beliefs, your mentalities, your mindsets. She has the Ace of Swords in her hand, and that is the powerful ability we have. It's the weapon or the instrument that we're given where we can cut away those old beliefs and thoughts and mentalities that no longer serve us, right? So you feel them, you experience them, you let them go, and then she has her hand open, which means then it allows her to receive those new thoughts, those new beliefs, those new attitudes into their life. But I love that they sit her upon the cups here too, because this is about balancing both your thought and your emotions, right? She's almost at the end of the deck. And being the divine feminine, she totally understands the emotional side too. But she has this message of balancing your mind and your thoughts and your beliefs and your logic with your emotional side too, especially connecting to your intuition and your higher selfness. Right, you're connecting to that gut feeling into the spiritual world, while also, remaining connected and aware of your thoughts on the earthly plane too. Because she's learned, like the King of Swords, which I think the King of Swords came out in the last reading, is about this beautiful balance. If you're too much in your mind, then that situation doesn't turn out really in alignment with your higher self, with your true self. Also, if you're too emotional and too on one side, then that also doesn't turn out. It's this beautiful balance between them both, right? And so I love this about, coming to this beautiful balanced place too, between feeling your emotions, feeling those fear emotions, but also feeling the emotions of your true self, which is of joy, which is of unconditional love and peace and laughter, right? It's joy. Joy is really your true nature. And we come here to experience the opposite so we can understand it. If we are in a joyful place, always in joy, we won't even realize that we're in joy if we don't experience the opposite of what it is, right? So it's like air. If you are breathing air all the time, you don't realize that air even exists because it's what's normal. But if you go underwater and you're submerged a few feet under it and you look up and go, oh, air is up there. There's no air for me to breathe down here. Now I understand that air exists. I'm more appreciative of air, and I want to move toward air right now. And so, experiencing the opposites allows us to understand more fully what joy is. And then you have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles really brings this, Pentacles is your outside world, the work that you do on the outside world, and it's showing that you're working on something, you're working to master something, you're putting something out into the world. And you have people that are there to support you in it. But there is this important message that for you to be your own support, for you to be the drive of your life, because you do have the person who's praising you for the work you're doing, and you also have the person here who is kind of bad-mouthing you behind your back. They come and even stabbing you in your back, right? And what that teaches us is that message of depending on yourself for your drive and your validation, right? The person who praises us can almost have more influence on us drifting away from our dream and presenting our life the way we want it to be, right? Because we already know about the backstabbers, and we're like, why do I even want to listen to you? You're negative. person in my life, I'm, you rejecting what I'm wanting to do, unless I really value your opinion and are fearing you, is just going to push me to do more of what I want. But if someone's praising us, we love praise. Our ego loves to be praised and validated from the outside world. And if we do that, then what happens is they might go, oh, I love what you're doing, and blah, blah, blah. Have you thought of doing blah, 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 blah? And then we seriously think about changing to the blah, 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 even though it's totally not what we want to do, because we don't want to cut off our praise source, right? So it just tells us that, outside influences and opinions can have a great amount of impact on us if we allow that to define us. Definitely we can take on, the lessons and the information from others, but we don't have to take their opinion on as our own. We can take it as information and do with it what we want, but if we don't let it become our source of inspiration and drive, then we can do that, right? You can just be free to dance and be yourself. Everyone can tell you how you're supposed to dance, but you're going to dance on your own. You're going to make your decision on how you want to dance. And I really feel this is about your healing too. This mourning and this disappointment and sadness that you're feeling, there's all these people that are going to have opinions on how you should and should not go about doing that. And you don't have to listen to any of them. You don't even have to listen to me. This is from Spirit. This is them saying this is what you can do. And you can say, you know what? I don't want to do it. And you are okay. You can do whatever you want, because it's your life, your choice, your adventure, your creation. So you can take this as information and do with it what you want, and along with everyone else in the world, right? You are the creator of this masterpiece of your life. And then you have the Page of Cups, and this is perfect because cups are your emotions, and this is the Ace of Cups, which is bringing you these messages. The Ace of Cups is the chalice, the Holy Grail. There's this place within you that you can connect to this new source of love, and that is the creator of all things, the other side, our beautiful source of unconditional love. And so this card is all about, not only are you being able to experience this new level of love and joy when you step into this, dancing portion, you understand and appreciate it so much more. Like we said, when you experience conditional love and loss and experience joy and unconditional love, you feel it so much more exaggerated, because having experienced the opposite, you understand more fully what it is. The page also is about messages, and because it's the Page of Cups, it means you're receiving emotional messages. And a lot of times, if you have this connection, to the other world, and when you have this intuition, and especially if you have a lot of water in your chart, Virgo, your sun is your, is Earth, but you might have a bunch of other water in your chart that gives you this connection to the spiritual world, to the emotion that connects us to the spiritual world. And with this page being messages, you will, how you will receive an emotional message. You will receive a feeling, which then transforms into something in our brain, which brings us interprets it, but you will feel a message. And if you're empathic, you know what I'm talking about. You're going to feel messages because of this as well. And really, I think it mentioned when I read this here about, when you connect and you feel that vulnerability, it really helps you connect you to your heart. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, it actually opens up your heart where you can hear messages so clearly as well. I think you're done. I think you're ready to let go. Swords are, again, your thoughts, your beliefs, your mentality, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And this is all those expectations, all those things that have disappointed you, have left you feeling in this, this emotional feeling. You're not dead. You just are exhausted. You're tired of trying to meet all those expectations, tired of all those emotions, those feelings, those thoughts that have been coming from the outside world. And it's okay, because you are looking here towards the sun. You're looking toward the sunrise. This 10 is an ending and a new beginning. So you're getting ready. You're ready to let things go because you're exhausted and tired. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so you're ready for this ending of the feeling this way, and ready for this new beginning. Again, you choose the time when you're going to do this, because you will never let go of that emotion and feeling that way until you're ready to let go. And it's only when you get to this point of exhaustion that you're just, I can't take it anymore. And it's like, yes, that is perfect. Don't use that as a opinion of ending your life. Use it as an opinion of ending the way your life was being lived. And you're ready to make a movement into a new way of living. Because what's the worst thing that could happen? You could die. If you're thinking about ending your life, don't. I mean, I did. I was very suicidal at one point in my life, and I had intervention from the Creator, and it was like, no, just choose to live. How worse can it get? You could die. And I'm like, well, I'm about to self-fulfill my prophecy, by ending my own life. And so I decided to live. And whenever I get feeling down and low, because it happens in our life, and we are human, right? I always take it down to death, and I go, oh, okay, what's the worst that could happen? I could die. Well, let me go live then. I could always end my life later if it gets bad, And I know that sounds kind of dark, but if you're in this, you understand what I'm talking about, right? And joy does come, and joy can be a choice. You can choose every moment how we feel these emotions, but set a date to move on. Yep, so here you have the 2 of Swords. So you have choices to make, right? You have your, one choice is the choice of the opinions of the outside world. The other one is connecting to your higher self, your intuition, blinding yourself, not seeing the world, connecting to the moon energy, and trusting your intuition. So this is a beautiful balance between the 2 worlds, knowing that you have a choice to make and you get to choose it when you want. In fact, I'm going to put it like this. This is going to be the little gaggly thing, whatever you call it, that hangs from the rooster's neck. But I am in the 2 choices. Point at joy and point at your tears. And when you're done with one, you're ready to move on to the other one. All right. And then lastly, we're going to pull 2 cards from this Sacred Creator's Oracle, and that's going to be the beak for the turkey. And this will just be the final message that the Creator has for you for this reading. Creator, for our Virgos that chose turkey number 3, what's your final message for them for this? Gratitude and growth. Okay, there's one. Okay, that's the other one. Stop, drop, and ground. I love that. And you have Creator, Alchemy. Beautiful. And that's card number 60. So we'll read card number 31 first. See what message comes from that for you. It says, how long has it been since you gave yourself a moment to pause just for the joy of it? If you've been caught up in the hustle or feeling anxious or stressed about the future, it's time for a pause. Full stop. It's time to ground yourself with self-love. Drop onto your yoga mat. Drop in on a movie night with family. Or drop into laughter with your besties. Seriously, your soul is asking for this. And while stopping and dropping can feel drastic, especially if you've been on the hamster wheel of busy for a while, it's also perfect medicine for resetting and realigning your goals with the path you're on. If you're taking on unnecessary work that feels soul-sucking, you need to stop. If you're repeatedly worrying about metrics, relationships, or money, you need to stop. Ruminate with Rumi instead. Grab a tea and play hooky from your to-do list for a while. Know that you are deserving of this sacred pause. Stop, drop, and ground isn't about sticking your head in the sand and pretending that everything is wonderful when it's not. It's not about chanting positive mantras when you're honestly feeling like muck inside, right? It's about finding the real happy wherever you are. It's about actively pursuing grounded presence today while remembering that it doesn't have to be perfect to be perfectly blissful. I love it. And these cards come with questions. I'm just going to ask those here. It says, when was the last time you laughed till you cried? Maybe it's time to schedule a lunch date with a good friend. When you stop, drop, and ground, what do you notice? Have you been so caught up in the details of what you're doing that you've forgotten your joy? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And then card number 60 is Creator Alchemy. It says, you are a powerful alchemist and you are ready to transform the ingredients of your life and make your gold. You're about to step onto a timeline of great potential where there's a window of opportunity to engage in your own evolution. Use your creator alchemy to refashion offbeat skills or to rethink unusual experiences from your past that will become relevant again. These fleeting moments offer quintessential creators like you the power to activate dormant DNA, change your awareness of self, and experience a profound inner change. Some call it ascension, others call it a frequency shift, and others perceive it as a neurogenesis, epigenetics, EPI genetics, or upgrades in consciousness. As you blend past and future, your creator core is ready to level up and draw inspiration from this upgrade. Try to remain on your highest vibe over the next few days so you can take advantage of this potential. Co-create willingly with Source and watch for unusual or eccentric illuminations to seed the way. Changing matter into creator gold will be anything but business as usual. I love it. And the questions that come with that card is, have you been tracking the ideas and wisdom that you've been downloading from Spirit lately? You're a badass creator. You've been alchemizing your experiences for a while now, so what's holding you back from manifesting the big dream? Do you need more support? More technique? More guidance? More determination? More faith? More passion? More energy? More certainty? More knowing? Or what ingredient will speed up your transformation? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So this is definitely about this transformation here from this sadness, this desperation, this deep, depression. And it's like about experiencing that, definitely, but this movement into inspiration, this movement into this joy and expressing that being who you really are inside. So definitely no judgment about these. Again, we came here to experience this. Set a date. Set a date. In fact, what I'm hearing is set a date for when you're going to do this, and then save this video and come back to it and watch it on that date, because these questions that they came here are going to help with your new direction, with this new joy that you're going to be manifesting. So I love it. All right. And just know as you're going throughout this experience, every second of every day, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. Okay, I'm going to leave the reading there. I always like to let you know that in addition to these readings, I also do monthly readings by zodiac sign, weekly readings by element of the zodiac, fire signs, water signs, etc. New moon readings, full moon readings, just a variety of other different readings as well. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those, if you haven't done so already, just make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. That'll bring up this little notification bell. And when you click on that, then you'll be notified of when those new videos come out. So easy breezy. All right, just know that I also love you dearly, and I'm sure that I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you take care.